Today we are joined by members of the SKN Lupus Hope Foundation, President Kesha Isaac-Adams and Vice President Victorine Hanley. Good morning, ladies. Welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you. So what are some of the early signs and symptoms of lupus?
You know, because I'm always here, I'm going to just let the video start this time.
Okay.
Well, first it starts with fatigue.
Okay.
And that is a #1 trigger that most lupus patients have. And I can't even explain fatigue. Sometimes you feel like you're tired, and tired is like what you would feel. And then another time you feel like a truck run you over. And reversed. Like there's something sitting on your chest.
Okay.
So that is like fatigue. You don't feel like you don't want to wake up in the morning. You can't move. And then there are days when, okay, let me just get up and compose myself and go. You know, so for me, well, that's why it begins with, like the fatigue feeling in your body, your joints hurt, your muscles hurt. And then it would start flaring.
Okay. When you say flaring, can you explain flaring?
That's good.
Go ahead.
Okay, so lupus is basically where your, or any autoimmune condition for that matter, it's where your immune system, it's overzealous. Let's put it that way. So if you catch a cold or you get a simple thing affecting your body, then it starts attacking that virus or that bacteria or any foreign body, and then it overcompensates. And it can't recognize the good from the bad, and it floods your body with inflammation to fight. It's trying to do its job, but it does it too well. So it floods your body with inflammation, and then the inflammation ends up breaking down bone and tissue and blood cells, and thereby damaging, in particular, your major organs. And flares would come with swelling, major joint pain, the butterfly rash that you just had, but not everybody gets them. Some persons get lesions, you get the
I get the butterfly rash.
I have been spared that, right? So I'm happy for that. But then from the beginning, I was told to keep out of the sun. And as a Caribbean person, that's like, how do you do that? The inflammation that I talked about earlier, it affects, like I said, your major organs. And the biggest organ we have is our skin. And being out in the sun or just being hot, the heat that gets generated, it actually has a burning effect on our skin. And if we are in particular in flare and on steroids in particular, it makes our skin thinner, so it makes us susceptible to sunburn easier. So we always get advised to try and avoid the sun as much as possible. Wear sunscreen. I hate the smell.
That don't work.
And it really doesn't work.
So, Victorine, is that your experience as well? Because this leads us into the next question. Your experiences, because Kesha just explained what it's like in terms of trying to hide from the sun in the Caribbean. What about you? What's your experience with lupus?
My first experience with the sun, it was very emotional for me, because I walked a short distance from the top of 4th Street down to the bottom by Domino's. But when I got there, my elbows hurt, like really hurt. I couldn't move them. And then I saw my skin turning red, and I was like, why? Like, I almost started crying, because I was like, I live in the Caribbean, like, why am I flaring in the sun? And for me, that was that when it hit me, and I said, you know, you really have to take a toll and decide how to adjust yourself in St. Kitts, in the Caribbean, to cope with lupus. So from there on, like Kesha said, I started wearing long sleeves, or I would just not go out in the sun. Even to be under a tent, the heat. The heat from that comes from the tent, it flares. I can't go in my kitchen for spite, especially if the oven is on. And I thank God for my husband. He is a real support when it comes to doing the laundry. Can't go outside to hang out the clothes when I want to. So I thank God for, well, him and family support. That is important.
How has that affected your mental awareness?
Well, sometimes the depression kicks in. And people say, oh, you get depressed, you're a Christian, why you get depressed? It is normal, it is flesh. When I find myself going there, I'm being hit by the thought, hey, you're a child of God, come out of that. Like, go and read, listen to your music, soothe yourself. And I thank God for family support, church support. They're real help. They're real help. And when you feel down, it's good to have somebody that you can call and say, I'm having one of those moments. I need somebody to talk to. And that is important, to have a circle of people who understands, who don't want to just give you pity and like, oh, you're sick again. Like, that hurts. That hurts. That pisses.
Yes.
So you try to put on a persona or face, or what I call a costume, to go out to show the world, hey, I'm okay. I can cope. I'm okay. But then when you go back home,
a different story.
It's a different story. You have to just relax and tell yourself, hey, slow down. But when you go out there, you hit the ground running, but the reality hits you and you tell yourself, I can't be like everybody else. I have to learn to say no. No.
I hear you. And Kesha, I know you're very active. You're involved in several organizations, etc., etc. How do you cope with living with lupus?
With grace, the grace of God, honestly, because I mean, honestly, there have been some years where I have been MIA for months and weeks at a time, and you know, persons, when they see me, they would be like, wait, you just came back? And I'd be like, from where? Like, I thought you traveled again to study or whatever. I go, no, I've been I basically live on a rock. That's what I say. You know, because it's funny, and as Caribbean people, as Black people, we resort to like making jokes and stuff to cope with like questions that come at you. Because how do you explain that you've been home in bed for 2 weeks and then another 3 weeks, and every time you try to get back on it, you know, you get sent back home, and then you have to deal with, you know, your job being mean. I'm going to say mean today, because they don't understand, and sometimes I think they don't try to understand what you're going through. And I think it's unfair because a lot of persons, I mean, I've worked in the civil service long enough to see persons with cancer on the job. I've seen persons with other ailments, and they get certain accommodations, and then here you are, and you'll be like, well, why not me? So you, I had to get to the point where I had to say, you know what, whatever, you know, if I'm sick, I'm just sick. I'm going to just have to ignore persons when they go, again, yes, again, yes, again. I will have to just, if I don't have the energy to have a quip, or not to respond when they go, you're putting on too much weight. You know, it never give you a joke. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I remember it just looked like I was putting on weight, because my weight normally distributes equally. And somebody went, you're getting too fat. And I said, I am fat with purpose. Leave me alone.
I love that. I love it.
And those are the kind of things that I have to do for myself to cope with how society responds to me. And where being activists concerned, you know, I have New Age, and there were some years we didn't do any productions because I just didn't have the energy. And then I had mental fog. because that's one of the things that
Yes.
come with it.
Okay.
You get foggy brained and you have to always be fighting. So I had to make choices of how much fight can I fight this month. And because, you know, I have to maintain my job in order to maintain my family, I had to put the energy there. So sometimes I can't do stuff at church, sometimes I can't do New Age, sometimes I can't do anybody else except work and home. You know, sometimes I can't sit in the benches at church, so I watch church online. And before the pandemic, it was Joyce Meyer or one of the TBN preachers when I couldn't make it to church physically. And sometimes I can't drive because the nerve pain is so bad on my right side that I definitely can't drive. But other times, like, I would be in the middle of driving. I remember this one time going around the Molyneux roundabout to go down that long stretch. And I literally had to take my foot off the pedal and put it flat and let the car coax down that road and then put it back on the pedal just before the corner, because the shooting pain that I had, and I was the only person in the car. So it's not like I could have pulled over and said, take the wheel. You know, those are the times you have to go like, Jesus, take the whole car. Take the whole car and go through, you know? But it's not always easy, and I know everybody is accustomed to me like smiling and everything, and my doctor will be like, you need to get a sick face. You need a sick face because nobody will believe something wrong with you. So I know for a fact that if you come to the office and you're like crying and your face look a particular way, I know it's super bad. Because I've had this since 2006 and that's a long time. So you get accustomed.
Oh my. Let me jump in there. Are any activities planned by your organization for this month?
Madam VP?
Yes, we do. We have a remembrance service. What day is that?
The 28th.
28th, where we're going to remember those, we call them fallen butterflies who have gained their heavenly wings. So I'm just appealing to persons out there who have lost a loved one to lupus, if they care to share a picture or a little memory of them, so we can highlight them at that service. And that will be at the Shadwell Great House from 7? From 5. Yes, and we also have a paint and sip on the 29th, and that's with Liska Bass. And that is a fundraiser. So you can contact us on our Facebook page or contact Miss Kesha here.
I don't understand how only my number will be up there.
And that paint and sip begins at 4:30. So I'm just asking for the support of the general public to just come out and have fun with us while we do that activity. It's soothing, it's calming.
It is. You get wine. You get wine. And for those of you who can't drink alcohol, like we can't drink alcohol, there is alcohol-free
beverages.
Wine. Yes, there's alcohol-free wine. But you forgot next week Tuesday on the 10th, that is World Lupus Day. So the world over will have purple just all over. So get your purple, take your pictures and post them to social media, tag us, or just say a kind word out there if it's possible, because I know some persons wear uniforms, so they can't wear their purple to work. But if you could put a little purple makeup, a little
your purple ribbon
in your hair, a little purple in your ears, something, just to show solidarity with those of us, because the truth of the matter is that you never know who is going through what.
Oh, so final question. There's no specific age that is contracted. You can be diagnosed at any point in time.
Yes, the common age is women, and gender is women of childbearing age. Okay. However, in my research, I have found that some girls younger, have been diagnosed. which actually it's bad and it's good in a way, because lupus is considered to be one, an invisible disease, and two, the great mimic of diseases.
Yes.
It can manifest as anything, and you can be diagnosed with a lot of things before you get diagnosed with lupus. They have gotten better at it in the recent years. I am very thankful that I got diagnosed in Jamaica at the University Hospital, because I think probably if I was home, it would have taken longer and I might not be sitting here today. So I was in the right place at the right time. And even though Vicky said that hers started with like fatigue and she had a blood clot and all of that, I had a cold. I had just a cold. I just had a cold that would not go away. And in just doing routine checkup for this particular thing, they found protein where it shouldn't be, and then they tried treating that. And when that did not clear up over a month, then I did blood work and they found it. Then I had to get my kidneys biopsied, and they found that I had lupus nephritis, which meant that my kidneys had already started getting damaged.
Oh my.
Yes, but that has been, yes, it is in check. My kidneys and my liver and everything are good to go. So I want to maintain it.